Okay, Kentucky All-State students. Those of you who are auditioning for Kentucky All-District and All-State, the scale sheet that is required has flute scales in 1 octave and 2 octaves listed. And I know when I practice scales, I will do them in a pattern that is extended range for the flute that does not stop on the tonic. So for example, it does the full range of the flute, right? Not just F major between those 2 octaves, but then it goes all the way up to high B flat and back, and then all the way back down to where we start and down to a low C and back. So the sort of gold standard of flute technique practice, one of a handful of gold standards, I suppose, is the Marcel Moyse Daily Exercises book. So those scales are from that. That's what we use here at Murray State University. Tons of music schools use this sort of pattern for flute players. Since Kentucky All-State requires 1 octave or 2 octaves on the sheet, you play them just like they're on the sheet. That's what we do. You have to articulate the scales, and there's a quarter note, eighth note pattern. And so I recommend playing them as fast as you can play them cleanly, and to work on scales with a metronome all the time, with as great of a flute tone as you can play with. A lot of vibrancy in the sound, vibrato. Make them as beautiful as you can, as if it's its own piece of music. So even though you're going to be playing really metronomically, we don't want them to sound too stiff or too overly emphasized. Much better if we can make a sort of musical phrase out of things, just like a piece of music. This gives a little more flow and a little more chance for your tone quality to sing and show that you can really make a musical phrase and make some beautiful sounds, as well as stay really steady, and that you can keep a steady beat and establish a steady beat. So that's my recommendation, is to practice your scales with a metronome, but then also to be able to be free enough that your emphasis kind of makes a bit more of a phrase shape. So good luck practicing scales. I highly recommend too, if you want to be the best flute player you could be, don't just practice the Kentucky All-State scales on that list, but to really go out of your way, find the extended patterns like the ones that Marcel Moyse has, that's M-O-Y-S-E, and make those part of your regular practice routine. Practice them at least 6 days a week, if not 7. Don't try to cram them. Practicing scales with metronome in that way will improve your rhythm, because it makes your control much more specific, much more refined with the control of your muscle movements, but it also allows you to find the middle of a beat, or to divide a beat perfectly into 4 parts and find exactly where that goes when you're playing 16th notes and other rhythms. So good luck with scales. I hope this video helps you a little bit with just how to practice and what to kind of aim for musically with your ear, and what you're playing, and in developing your sound. Good luck.